Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. Hey, I got Matt Daniel here, head coach at Cumberlands. I had never met you until you guys got here. Thanks a lot for taking a couple of minutes. Head coach at Cumberlands in the Mid-South, the dreaded Mid-South. What a war. Talk about the conference first.
Well, first off, thank you for having me, and thank you for all that you do for small college hoops. Obviously, we were familiar with you before we had first met, so thank you for that. Our league is really good. It's kind of, the landscape has kind of changed, going from the 12 teams to down to the 7. It's a little bit different now, but still just as tough, and we play a Thursday, Saturday split. And so those Saturday games can be really tough because all the coaches and the players in our league are really good, and they're going to be really well prepared. Trying to get ready after a Thursday night for a Saturday afternoon can be really challenging. So I think our league, and I was fortunate enough to play in our league, I think it's as good as it gets in the NAIA.
Did you play at Cumberlands?
Yes, sir. Oh, okay. Yeah, to graduate in 2012. Yes, sir.
Okay, so how long have you been the head coach then at Cumberlands?
This is my 3rd season.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, sir. I was an assistant 2 seasons prior to that for Coach Don Butcher. Coach Butcher was there for 20 years, and I played for Coach Butcher, and then was fortunate enough to assist him for a couple before being lucky enough to get the job.
And obviously a lot of history in the Mid-South, and you got to start with Georgetown. They had, quote unquote, a down year. You had a little bit of trouble with them, but
absolutely.
They Freed Hardman and you guys all kind of beat up on each other, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think Georgetown was really good this season. And and we're all biased towards our leagues, but I thought them as a 6 was maybe just a little bit underseeded for the year that they had. But they Coach Briggs and Coach Osborne before Coach Briggs just have put Georgetown in a place historically that is top of the line when it comes to NAIA hoops. And they had a really good team. You mentioned Freed. Freed has been excellent for the past 2 years, but specifically this year, a really good team. Coach Stuss does a fantastic job down there. But, just top to bottom, you look at Campbellsville, Lindsey Wilson, Bethel, and Cumberland U. All those teams are very, very competitive. Cumberland U was top of the strength of schedule this year, played an unbelievable schedule. I just think, again, from 1 to 7, there's just no nights off.
So you survived the Mid-South. Down the road, it was like who's gonna blink here, and you only got one automatic bid. But you and Freed, Freed and Georgetown all got in the tournament. You and Freed got here. You had to. I got my cheat sheet here. You had to play a Gulf Coast team, Philander Smith, and what were they? A 15 seed, 14 seed. They gave you, talk about that. They were good, weren't they?
They were really good. They played really well in that game. We were very, very fortunate to win, just to be frank. Had a hard time guarding them. They were the type of team that has given us trouble throughout the year with their physicality. We didn't do a great job in preparation for them. Not a fault of our own, but they didn't have a lot on synergy, and that's what we used for most of our prep work. And so we were really using just one game on huddle in preparation.
Oh, really?
And so it was a little bit more challenging than some of the preparation leading up. The teams that are on synergy a little bit easier to prepare for from a staff standpoint. But I give Philander all the credit in the world. They shot it really well. They rebounded it really well. Because we played well, and we're still fortunate enough to win in a really good 2-15 matchup.
Yeah, good thing you were home, huh?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Our crowd was fantastic. The 2 games in the pod were the 2 best home crowds we had all year. So very, very thankful we got to play at home.
That Gulf Coast Conference, last year Tougaloo came here, surprised everybody, got in the Final 8. I think one of the reasons they surprised people, I cover it. Every night I go through the scores in the top 25. And it's a really hard conference to get scores and stats out of.
Yeah.
And so they really fly under the radar. Like if I think Paul Quinn's in that conference, aren't they?
I think so.
If Paul Quinn plays, they don't have any live stats or anything. They do a video, but the video doesn't have a score or a speak over.
Yeah.
So you got to wait like 2-3 hours to even get a score out of there sometimes. But anyway, they fly a little bit under the radar. A good, they always do well in the tournament.
Absolutely. Coach Day down there at Philander specifically, that's just who we were matched up with. He did a great job. They were really well prepared. His guys had a lot of confidence. Again, seeding to them meant nothing. It didn't matter that we were at 2 and playing at home and they were at 15. They just came to play ball, and they did just that. So we were, again, very fortunate to win that one. And I thought our pod as a whole, you look at Marion and Florida College, the other 2 teams, that was a fantastic game. I thought both of those teams would have done just fine out here at Kansas City.
Absolutely.
So it was a very competitive pod. our first time getting to host since we've gone to the 64 team to that setup, and it was just a fantastic experience. Obviously, winning it helps your experience, no doubt, but a fantastic experience all
I
in
want to
all.
ask you about hosting, but I want to go back. You've had to play Florida College to get here. Florida College, a really good team.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Teichman does a great job there, a guy I really respect. Talk about that game.
You mentioned he's got the respect of everybody in Williamsburg now. I think he's on top of being a really good coach. It seems like a really great guy, and a lot of people across our campus and our community said the same thing. And so he's got some new fans in Williamsburg now, and he does a really good job. Their team was really well prepared. You could tell that they were really well scouted, and I think they had a really good team. I liked all of their guard play was good. Their interior guys were physical. It was a really good game, and again, credit to him and the program that he's built in the last couple of years.
I don't think anybody would. You said it, but I don't think anybody would have been surprised if Marion or Florida College got here. They would definitely compete here. So you did not. Good thing you were at home, Coach.
Absolutely, no, 100%. I think that being fortunate enough now. We've since we've gone to the new system. Coach Busher's last season, my last year as an assistant coach, we went down to Alexandria and played. And then 2 years ago, we were at Olivet and played Grace. And so, once you've been in it and you've been the road team, you see the benefit of getting the opportunity to play at home for sure.
Yeah, but let's don't forget, you earned the right to be
Absolutely,
at home.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you earned that right.
It wasn't given to us, that's for sure.
So you're right over there where you're sitting. If you look out the window, you're looking at the municipal auditorium. You excited?
Very excited, very excited. Obviously, it's been a while since we've been here, been in this position. So, getting to step out on that court, really, for myself, the first time since I was a player back in 2012.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. So, excited to get over there and get the tournament started like everybody else. Just excited to get the opportunity for our guys to compete.
So you played the last game on Friday. So is that a disadvantage or an advantage?
I don't know. I think I'm excited to see the other teams play without the in preparation for our game. I'm excited about that. But the waiting is never fun.
Yeah.
We're all excited to compete, but Morningside obviously waiting as well. So I don't know, disadvantage, advantage. I don't know if it's anything like that. I would just prefer to play a little earlier in the day, not have to wait all day and wait away. Yeah. But it's okay. Obviously whoever from our game on. Every game that we could potentially play in is 7 o'clock every day. So if you think about it from that standpoint, you're able to, you're fortunate enough to move on. Your preparation can be the same each day. So that could be a positive thing as well.
That's a huge thing for a team, isn't it? Getting them on a schedule, game day routine.
100%.
It's huge, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. That's why, we ended up coming out here a day earlier, came out on Monday and got here late Monday night, just so our guys could start to acclimate with being away and getting a new set of routines. We're not in class every day, and it's our spring break anyways, but just a whole different thing. And, kids and myself included, we need routine, and getting out here a day ahead, I think just gives us an opportunity to kind of get our feet wet a little bit and get accustomed to everything that's going on around here.
It's okay, Matt. I want to go back to hosting because it's such a huge deal. What does that mean for obviously your team, but the school as well as the town of Cumberlands? It's a huge deal, isn't it?
It is. Our athletic department is second to none. You look at our other sports and the success that they've had, across the NAIA, and we've been fortunate enough to host in a variety of other sports. Last year, softball, baseball, soccer's. We've hosted a lot of different opening round NAIA things. So we hadn't done it in basketball yet, and we were fortunate enough to do it in men's and women's basketball. And so we're just so lucky to have the athletic administration that we do that obviously cares so much about athletics, but wants to put our university, our community in a first class setting. And they did a fantastic job. I just had to worry about coaching basketball. So when you've got our athletic director Chris Kraftic and his assistants and the people under him, they just did such a good job. I thought, running a first-class tournament. And it does help when you win and you're able to enjoy all of that. But, again, all the credit for how the tournament win goes to those guys.
So obviously, everybody gets their students come out. Do you get a lot of support from the community?
It's growing. We're continuing to try to grow it. I think when people do come out and watch us play, they appreciate how we play. Obviously, we play an up-tempo style of basketball, and we score a lot of points, and that's by design. And when people have come to watch us play, they've enjoyed it and they've come back. And we're going to continue to try to build that to something where it's that people in the community do want to come out. One of the things that's hurt our student crowds over the past couple of years, and we still get good student crowds, is we don't have class on Friday, so we're a Monday through Thursday. We're on a bi-term system, and so I mentioned Thursday, Saturday is how we play our conference. So Thursday night, a lot of times, if kids live close, they may go home.
They go home,
and so you miss out on a little bit. Thursday nights used to be huge crowds for us, and we're building that back. But that's the only downside of not having class on Fridays is sometimes you miss out on those Thursday night crowds.
Yeah, that's a kind of a different. That's out west. You don't have that much problem because a lot of times kids are 5 hours from home, so they're not going home.
Yeah,
on
they're
the
not
weekend.
coming home. Yeah, absolutely. And I see some of that. When we're watching video and. Some of the student sections are bigger, and we're trying to build ours to that. And at times, ours has been really good. So we have a great backing, a great following. We're just trying to build it to make it as good as possible. And I think when people come out to see us play, a lot of times we get a lot of repeat customers. Over the past couple weeks, we had people that came for the first time to watch the opening round, and you wouldn't believe the amount of people that were like, "Hey, didn't realize you guys were this good and your players were this fun to watch," and we'll definitely be back. So that was exciting.
Yeah, there's still a little bit of a sell for NAI basketball. Absolutely. You still get that. What is that? What is NAI basketball? I think it's really undersold. It's amazing basketball. I mean, it's if you haven't been out to see an NAI basketball game, you have to go see one. I mean, It's great. It's amazing basketball. You're going to play Morningside, a program that I respect immensely. Trent Miller's a great guy, great coach. Have you had a chance to look at them at all?
Oh, yes. You mentioned it. A great program. I think Coach Miller, I actually met him for the first time today. I think he does a fantastic job. You watch his teams play, you can tell how well schooled they are, how good their players are. And obviously, you take it down to Georgetown, from who we're very familiar with. You take down to Georgetown to get to here. It says a lot about you. And then you look back past years. They were here last year, and again, I just think the world of what they're doing over there, and it just highlights that there is really good basketball at the NAIA level all over the country. Iowa, out west, Arizona, Florida, everywhere that has NAIA basketball, there's quality basketball there.
I'll tell you what, Matt, from a fan standpoint, I'm really looking forward to it because I think it's a textbook Mid-South GPAC matchup.
Sure.
Typically, those two conferences play a little bit different style, but Morningside is a little bit of the exception in the GPAC. They play a little bit more physical, more Mid-South type basketball, but it's still going to be a good matchup.
Absolutely. And then we this year kind of had shifted, as you mentioned, the physicality of our league, and it has historically been a very physical league and a lower scoring and a high emphasis on defense. We kind of flipped that a little bit ourselves, and we're playing a much more up-tempo style this year. And you look, we averaged 88 points a game.
Yeah.
And I know Morningside does score a lot of points as well. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. I have nothing but respect for Morningside and what Coach Miller has done there and the level of players they have. So it should be an exciting matchup.
It's going to be great fun. Well, Coach, I really appreciate you taking a couple of minutes. I'm so glad I finally got to meet you, and good luck against Morningside. I don't know about you, but I can't wait for this thing to get started.
Oh, okay. We can't wait either. And thank you so much. And again, thank you so much for what you do for NAIA Hoops.
That's Matt Daniel. He's the head men's basketball coach at Cumberlands University. Thank you.
You didn't have to get him to do it. I got it for you.